conversation, talking about Huawei. Our way.
什么？Canada 和 Huawei. Today we're going to talk about Canada and Huawei. There's an article I read. Huawei has made Canada nervous for years. Motherboard is a eMagazine for nerds, computer nerds. So I'm going to read you some excerpts. If you want to read the whole thing, you can Google it. 2 years after U.S. officials slammed Chinese telecom giant Huawei for its connection to the Chinese People's Liberation Army, the company is looking to expand in the Canadian market, which is perceived as being friendlier than the U.S. Well, hold on here. He said the U.S. Congress slammed Huawei, but that's not true at all, is it? The U.S. Congress asked questions, and Huawei answered, and Huawei's answers were very thorough and complete. I know because I was part of the process. When Huawei's people were standing in front of Congress, Congress asked a lot of very difficult questions, and those people standing in front of Congress couldn't answer them. They were complex questions, and no one person could answer those. So they sent the questions back to headquarters, and there I was in the middle of the night, and a whole committee of executives gathered about in the middle of the night to answer those questions. And when they had the answers, they gave them to me, and I revised them for Congress, to be suitable to Congress. And so I know Huawei gave excellent, thorough answers. And then this journalist says, in return, Congress slammed Huawei. But I would say no, not at all. Congress said that they were unsatisfied. Now, how could Congress be unsatisfied with very satisfying answers? Well, Congress had the objective to be unsatisfied. That's pretty obvious. The only other thing that Congress said that this journalist could possibly consider to be a slamming would be that Congress said Huawei cannot be proven to be without influence from the Chinese government. Oh, that's not a slamming. That's Congress saying that evil influence upon Huawei is just as likely as Russell's teapot. Yeah, Congress just said a thing cannot be proven to not exist. Okay, we'll take that. That sounds a lot like vindication. Thank you, Congress. All right, so Canada, by the way, has a thing called the Freedom of Information Act. I know that sounds very much like America's Freedom of Information Act. Freedom of Information. Yeah, anyway, they copied America, right? Canada called it Access to Information Act. Okay, a little confusing. Anyway, they copied our act. So, Motherboard used the Access to Information Act to get some top secret documents from the Canadian government and then build this story based upon those documents. Now, those documents are heavily redacted, so I'll show you a picture of those. In such a document, sometimes so much is redacted that the only thing we can read is the words top secret. Other than that, the information is missing. So it's kind of difficult to build a reasonable, valuable article on documents that are all blacked out. All right, so the article goes on to explain that Congress, U.S. Congress doesn't want to give Huawei the key to the back doors of the ICT infrastructure network, and that Congress thinks that would be like giving a Chinese fox the keys to the American chicken coop, right? Because the article stresses that America and Canada are sure that Huawei is spying for the Chinese government. The thing that bothers me is that throughout the article, the author tries to imply that Canada has a mind of its own. But at the same time, in different parts of the article, they reference what's America doing constantly. They want to harmonize the Canadian response with the American response. So while the author on one hand tries to imply that Canada is struggling with these decisions, in the end it seems that every time they just, follow America. The article reads, perhaps the most telling passage in the document, Claremont infers Canada should fall in line with its American counterparts and its perspective on the safety of emergency responder networks. So what the article says is that Canada should fall in line with its American big brother. Another passage from the article says, as the U.S. has prohibited Huawei from providing equipment for their first responders network, and Canada is seeking to harmonize with the U.S. for public safety, blah, 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 blah. So, again, Canada is seeking to harmonize with American policies. All right, so this is all in line with the data policy. Data, not data. Data, D-A-A-D-E-H, data policy. This is a policy in Canada which keeps the Canadian nation, the government, the people, all safe and free from difficult decisions. The data policy is always providing guidance for what the Canadians need to do. Data. In case you're not familiar with it, do as America do, eh? How about that? And that has kept Canada out of trouble for years and years. So, if America will go to war, Canada, me too, let's go. And if America will ban Huawei, Canada is like, me too. If America imposes a limited ban on Huawei, Canada will impose a limited ban on Huawei. Okay, that's the way things work. The article is talking about a long list of detractors in the Canadian government and intelligence community. They're all afraid that the Chinese are coming to steal all their secrets. Minister John Baird complained to Beijing that the Chinese are stealing all the Canadian secrets and so on. So I have to ask, Canadian secrets? Are you afraid the Huawei is going to come and steal your recipe for maple syrup? So this article tried to suggest that Canada is independently imposing a limited ban on Huawei. Canada, all on its own, has decided that Huawei is not very trustworthy. And I think that the article failed to convince us that Canada actually is coming to these conclusions all by itself. So that's all I have to say about that article. Again, you can Google it for yourself if you're interested in exploring it more fully. Thank you for watching my video.
Why does it feel so good?